So another huge storyline, guard Jamal Murray's actions, where he appears to throw a heating pad on the floor during live play. Warriors star Draymond Green weighed in on his podcast. Let's hear what he had to say about it.
I was just online, and I see people are like, oh, Jamal Murray's probably going to get suspended for throwing the heat pad. I mean, I didn't think he'd get suspended, although that was very dangerous. Somebody step on that A, at least a West by B, can really jack somebody up. But I didn't see that and be like, my first thought wasn't, he gets suspended. It's crazy how people just automatically start calling for suspensions these days. I just don't really understand that. But in saying that, man, Denver down bad right now.
Sure are. Shannon, do you think Jamal should be suspended for his actions?
Stephen, you want to take off with this one first and I'll follow you up?
Go ahead. Go. Yeah, sure, no problem. I hope that he isn't suspended because I'm very fond of Jamal Murray, but that's not what this is about. This is about the fact that he committed an act that even Draymond Green himself concedes could have been very, very dangerous. That warrants a suspension for a game, or at the very least, a very, very stiff fine. Now, I can understand Draymond Green that not coming to his mind. Why would it? Of course you would feel that way. You're a player, first of all, a champion, second of all, but third and most importantly, you've had your share of suspensions, and some you might have deemed unfair. So of course you would feel that way. But that's why you have neutral eyes looking at this, not somebody jaded by being a participant in the profession and would be more prone to exercising a level of leniency towards one of their contemporaries. Jamal Murray, throughout his career, has been class personified. He has never done anything, as far as I can remember, Legs, that he doesn't deserve to be criticized, besmirched, or anything in terms of his character as a person, as a man, as a professional. He's never done anything wrong. We're only talking about this incident and what this incident warrants based on its seriousness. Well, let's crystallize that. If you throw a heating pad on the floor, all right, you've endangered other players. Somebody could have tripped, they could have slipped, they could have twisted their ankles. We see people doing that all the time. That's number one. Number two, you were throwing it at the official. Well, you know that's not good. You know the NBA don't want you doing that. So you're doing that. Number three, you're doing it because y'all were getting your ass kicked. Yeah. Okay? And there's no way around that. And so taking those things into consideration, I don't wish for it for him because he's not some repeat offender. He's not some, and if somebody says, well, guess what? You know what? Give him a pass here because that's very uncharacteristic, out of character for him. I'm down for that. But strictly looking at the incident itself, if the NBA said, oh, you can't do that, you ain't playing next game, what would any of us really, really be able to say?
Nothing. Guess what, Stephen A? There's a lot of guys up in Pelican Bay on a first-time offense. So don't give me that a first-time offense. He put people in harm's way. Good thing I think Michael Porter Jr. saw it, kind of kicked it, and then somebody picked it up. Now, earlier, he threw a towel. We got the highlighted that he threw a towel earlier before he threw the heating pack on the court. And then he did the money sign in front of the official. Now, Rudy Gobert got a $100,000 fine for that gesture. Jamal, you're going to have to understand. Remember all those heroic shots that you hit in the first series? You have to be able to handle disappointment with the same way you handle prosperity. When things are going good, you have to handle that the same way as when things are going bad. This is not a good look, and I understand frustration when emotions are high, logic is low. But you can't have this. If he were to get suspended, would I come out here and stand on the soapbox and say, oh, I can't believe they suspended Jamal Murray? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to advocate for him to get suspended either. But I just know this.
Right.
Somebody could have got seriously injured, and then what would they have said? Oh, that was a fluke. Fluke doesn't help it. Oh, that was not his intent. It was to get somebody's attention. Let me tell you something about intent, guys, having to be a criminal justice major. Intent only matters to the defendant, because the person is equally as injured. So whether he intended to injure someone or not, Had they gotten injured, it only would have mattered to Jamal Murray because that was not his intent. The person would have slipped and hurt themselves. Just be mindful of that, because a lot of times when we get frustrated, we do things because we're not thinking clearly. Been there, done that. I'm not advocating that he gets suspended, but a $150,000, a $200,000 fine, $250,000 fine, I think he learned his lesson.
Nobody, by the way, wants him suspended less than I do because of what I said a few minutes ago. I'm going to be calling the game Friday. I don't want to see the Denver Nuggets limited. You have a champion cornered. They were just absolutely humiliated in game 2. If you want to know what the best response they're going to have in this series, it's going to be on Friday night, and you need to be whole to be able to do that. So I don't want to see it either. I will say this. I will be shocked if he is not, because the precedent you're setting, because of the potential for somebody to get hurt, they're very lucky nobody stepped in it. 2 things could have happened. Rolled ankle. By the way, one of the worst sprained ankles I ever had. I was warming up before a game, jogging backwards along the sideline, and stepped on a television cable about the same width as that. Rolled my ankle, missed the game. That could have easily been somebody. Karl Anthony Towns could have stepped on that. Or, you know what else? Those things are wet. You could step on the top of that, have it slide out, and now you strain a groin, pull a groin. Not only does it affect you in this game, it could affect you for the rest of the postseason. Players' safety was endangered. It was a reckless and careless act, and it showed no restraint on your emotions in the moment. That's why I'll be very surprised, because you almost have to set a precedent if you're the league going forward. You can't be throwing stuff onto the court if you're sitting on the bench. I mean, period. It can't be. How else are they going to penalize me? He didn't even get a technical at the moment.
At the official.
That's the problem. Right, and it's at an official to boot. So I'll be shocked. I don't want it to happen. I want to see these teams at full strength. I'll just be surprised if the league doesn't say, wait a second, it's almost uncharted territory. None of us could think of this happening before. From the bench, an object thrown onto the court by a player. We couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
Right. Could not think of it. So it's uncharted territory. I think the precedent the league's going to take is going to be Jamal Murray out for game 3. I'll be very surprised if that doesn't happen.